much, ladies and gentlemen, for the questions. Gibson, your question is in about 3 parts. What is the principal political goal of the MDC? The principal political goal of the MDC is to take over governmental power through peaceful, democratic, and constitutional means, govern differently, and change the lives of our people for the better. We exist to deal with the problems facing the Zimbabwean people. So that is our principal political goal. We want Zimbabwe to be a land of happy people again. We want Zimbabwe to restore its position as the leading economic and commercial hub of the African continent. We want a Zimbabwe free of hate. We want a Zimbabwe that is democratic, a Zimbabwe where everyone is able to live to their full potential. That is our principal political goal. The use of the name, the MDC Alliance, is nothing new. Let no one say that they've been taken by surprise. When we had our anniversary on the 11th of after the 11th of September in 2020, our chairperson Morgan Komichi stated clearly that the MDC Alliance was our name. The MDC Alliance that we are talking about is the MDC Alliance constituted in terms of the composite political agreement. And that alliance agreement had 7 political parties in it. We are now going to the by-elections. Remember, we have MPs who are in parliament using the MDC Alliance name. And therefore, we cannot use any other name because it will generate an absurdity where MPs from one party are called by different names. So we are using the MDC Alliance, and we have a name, and we have a legitimate legal claim to that name. That name is ours. The reforms that we were talking about, yes, you are right that the reforms have not been instituted. One of the issues that I raised with President Mnangagwa was that we must institute mechanisms to ensure that this electoral process is democratized and the institutions are democratized. So some of the electoral reforms that we advocate for do not take time to institute, and we still hope that we will be able to institute some of these. Korisani, who are the alliance partners? Who are not the alliance partners? Who is the alliance partner that you say was not there? If you are talking about Tendai BT is no longer the leader of the PDP. He was deposed in 2018 by his party's National Council. He is right now fighting for leadership in the Supreme Court. He has not won that fight. So there is the leader of the party is there, Mrs. Lucia Matibeka. I say she is the leader of the party because she is the one who has the power of recall. In constitutional law, we use there is what we call the Cretan theory, the theory of effectiveness. For you to find out, to determine who is the government in a country, you look at the person who is effective. The person who is effective in the PDP is the person who is able to make binding decisions, and the person who is able to recall members of parliament. Tendai BT was recalled by Lucia Matibenga. He was removed from the PDP at their National Council. I think it was in September 2018. Are you talking about Welshman Ngube? Welshman Ngube, he dissolved his party in Gweru and he joined the MDC team. He then lost the leadership of the MDC Green, and we do have members of the MDC Green who are attending the alliance meetings. Or are you talking about my friend Jacob Ngaruvume? Jacob Ngaruvume announced his withdrawal from the alliance immediately after the 2018 elections. I read somewhere where he was saying that he was not contesting these by-elections. So Remember also that in terms of the alliance agreement, you are allowed, the alliance is allowed to grow. The alliance is allowed to admit new partners, and there are a few partners within the alliance agreement. The candidates are going to be fielded from a party that has lost that seat. So if the seat was being held by the MDCT, it will be the MDCT who will field. So we do have 3 sets of candidates. We have candidates from the MDCT or the vacancies from the MDCT. They are going to be filled by the MDCT as a part of its quota in the MDC alliance. You also have candidates under the PDP. They are going to be fielded by the PDP under the alliance agreement as part of its quota. But we also have candidates from seats that were being held by ZANU-PF. We did agree with the alliance partners yesterday that by the end of day today, the alliance partners must indicate which seats they are interested in contesting. Now, there may come a situation where a party is unable to fill part of its quota. We agreed yesterday that in that case, the party that is strong can still fill under the MDC alliance. Anna, you say that there should be 2 MDC alliances that must field candidates. Why should we agree to that? Why should any political party with its salt allow parallel candidates? We won't allow parallel candidates. So the MDC alliance is one. And the MDC alliance we are talking about is the MDC alliance that was formed in 2017 as a result of the alliance agreement. It is going to field single candidates. It is not going to field double candidates. And we will not allow people to use our name because we own the name. And we warned these people that the name was ours as far back as 2020, 2 years ago. So people cannot say that they were taken by surprise. So we will not also not allow a faction within the party to field the candidates. That is why our letter is specific about who signs for the candidate. The people who sign for the candidate are the people who sign for the oh, it's a time. I thought it was gunfire. The people who are going to sign for all our candidates are specific. We know that there are people who want to claim our name. They can go ahead. We will meet them in any forum that they choose. But the name is ours, and we are going to fill it under the MDC alliance. And we are going to win this by-election. We are the only political party so far that has candidates. And I saw yesterday someone was saying that we had not fielded, I think we had not found candidates in 9 constituencies. Now, if you look at those 9 constituencies, 6 of those are constituencies held by the PDP. That's number 1. Number 2, in respect of the constituencies where you see that there are no candidates appearing on the working document that we have, it's because we haven't made our mind to accept the applicants, but we have overwhelming applications for people to be candidates. We are going to field 100% in the constituencies. We are going to field 100% in the wards, and we are going to win these elections.
Thank you. Which side should I start from this time around? 1, 2, 3, 4. You want a follow-up question? Maybe you can start up with that so that the President notes it. Follow-up question quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Mwonzora. My follow-up question is, you made reference to your political goals. You made reference to political goals at a national level. I was asking in reference to the issue of the name, which is MDC Alliance, as a contestation with your political opponents in the likes of Mr. Nelson Chamisa. So I was asking, aren't you pushing them as a political goal to rebrand and detach themselves completely from the MDC Alliance and the legacy that comes with the name, or the MDC network?
Thank you, Gibson. And because it is a follow-up, let me just answer it directly. Sorry, witness. We are not Mr. Chamisa's keeper. I am not Mr. Chamisa's keeper. I don't take care of his political interests. And he cannot expect that from a political opponent. I am an opponent in this election of President Mnangagwa. I am an opponent of Advocate Chamisa if he's fielding candidates. If he's not fielding candidates, fair and fine. I am a political opponent of whoever is fielding candidates. I don't plan things for them. I don't take care of their interests. What is important is that we are the owners of the name. And those people who do not own the name can use other names. There are a plethora of names in this country. After all, they have said, and I quote them, that there is nothing in a name. So when we made the decision that we are going to use the MDC Alliance, Mr. Chamisa was not a relevant consideration. Our consideration was simply that we wanted to perpetuate the alliance. That's number one. We have MPs who are using the alliance name in the parliament, and we did not want to create two sets of MPs coming from the same party. So we were not considering anyone. I just want to say that the period of being political crybabies is over. We don't cry even when things are going against us. But we see people crying all over the social media and so on. And I saw, is it Woko Chimono? That rebel without cause. Woko Chimono say, this election is about stopping Mwonzora. I am not contesting in this election. I'm a senator already. This election is about what the people of Zimbabwe want. It is about who the people of Zimbabwe want. And we are very open. Anybody who wants to contest this election is free to do so. But the name is ours. And if anybody is inconvenienced by that, it is because, number one, they didn't read the signs. Number two, they didn't read the law. Number three, they didn't heed the warning that was given by our chairman 2 years ago. What do we do to people like that? So we are not their keeper.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. You may start with the second set of questions.
Thank you so much. My name is